Hello, everybody, and good morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you're watching this, wherever you're watching this. I'm glad you're here with me today. I'm Justin. This is the RonlyConly Twitch stream, and we're back in New Chirp City for another lovely day. I've got my coffee. I'm ready to go. But if I sound a little bit out of it, it's because I am still in coffee mode. Didn't get to do the stream on Tuesday like I had hoped. I'm in the middle of a fundraising week, so if you have been wanting to support me more than this lovely viewership, which I am thankful for, you can go on my Instagram at RonlyConly. That's R-only-C only, and learn more about the fundraiser I've got going on for an animated short film that I am a producer for. So that's my real job. That's my real work that I do. Not just streaming all the time. So that would be very helpful. We have a chance to win a $1,000 grant, but every donation counts as an entry. So you could give as little as $1 or any other amount you choose that you're able, and every donation from every single person that gives counts as one extra entry for us to win that money. So please do that at the link in my bio on the RonlyConly Instagram. That would be very helpful to me. I'd appreciate it. So I've been busy with that, but I'm back here in New Trip City because I got to wake up before I do any real work. You know what I'm saying? That coffee's one heck of a drug. All right, so last time we created this Brooklyn and Queens walkable neighborhood in our sports zone. We made this lovely little interchange here, and I realized yesterday that this was supposed to be a two-direction highway, one lane, two direction, but I accidentally made it a two-lane, one direction, but traffic seems to be okay, so I don't really want to mess with that. I don't know currently how they're getting across there. There's not as much need to get across. It's not probably the most convenient, path. Oh, geez, I drank that coffee too fast and started talking. So part of that, we also built this other neighborhood, and this is, with the intention to continue growing out into this wild green yonder. But we needed more high-density housing, and the Brooklyn and Queens DLC pack, if you have that, is very helpful in keeping the height, and it gives you that brick variation. I love the brick, but it is high density. So just to show you that at the end there, about 2044 is where we started last time, and we ended way up at the top. So we went very high up. We cleared into a capital city milestone. That's a pat on my back. So that was a big milestone. And today, what I want to do is build a Varsity Football Stadium right here in this little nook, which probably will require some adjustments to this rail line, which I hate doing because, in real life, obviously, that would be a huge project. They couldn't just slightly adjust it. And as you can see by the title of this stream and by that little sign under Oak Hills there, hello, Luis. I'm glad you're here with me. We're going to make this Oak Hills district the Heart of Korea DLC. Those are huge skyscrapers, but I thought that'd be a nice place to do that. And, of course, we want to connect here. This is the first City Skylines, City Skylines 1, not the remaster either, but I'm on PlayStation 5, so there's some limitations involved there. And I wish they had I had pre-ordered City Skylines 2 for the PlayStation, but of course that's been delayed indefinitely. No problem there. Thank you for being here. Now, I think I want to put this road right here where the single low-density residential is, and that's the Korean style there. So it looks high-density, but it's actually not, which seems like a mistake, honestly, on the part of the developers, but I don't know that for sure, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So, of course, we got to place this roadside. So, great. The trick is trying to plan out where the heck the road. This is one of my least favorite parts about building stuff like this is that they won't just let you plop these huge assets. Instead, you've got to like eyeball it and think, okay, yeah, surely I can make this fit here, and then kind of mark your place with some visual identifiers. And I want to go ahead and put a wide avenue here because I know I'm going to need it. So we'll just throw a road down and let's see. Of course it's too close because it's a wide avenue. They really make you work. Aha! Now I don't want to go right up against the train station there. I want to leave at least enough room for a paved pedestrian path. This one here, not the pedestrian area zone. I can't do that. Got to take off all the magnets. That's usually what makes a difference there. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that didn't really connect to the stadium like I wanted it to, but we can go right there and make a little tweak. Well, that should work. Hopefully they'll move from the train station over there. And if not, it'll be fine. There's only so much you can do with those where the pedestrians actually are willing to walk. So, yeah, you gotta really be willing to take some stuff you don't need. Now, that'll be a harsh angle. I don't know if I really like that. I don't really want it all to be this this wide avenue. And if I'm trying to bridge to here, obviously that smaller road is what we really kind of want to keep. And maybe if I do the central part of this district in this wide avenue, it won't bother me so much. And we've got that road there, so I generally try to avoid the grid, as you can see by this kind of curvy road, but every now and then it has its perks. If you build the structure outside, you can get more creative on the in-between. I want to throw on a road guide just so I know how far I'm going. There we go. It's not really, I want to match the highway if I can. I guess I don't need the road guide on for that necessarily, but we'll go that way at least. Okay, so that gives us a little bit of a funky shape, like I like to do. Only downside, there's no pedestrian crossing there, so maybe it is worth making this a separate. No, that didn't work either. We could do that. We don't need the bicycle lanes, though. Just to keep that crossing path there from the mall, rather than making our people walk all the way to this intersection. And maybe it is worth putting the large avenue here. Get off this upgrade before I goof all over. The only benefit to having the wide is when we need more lanes. But for now, I guess we can keep it that way. If we keep it that 90-degree angle, that won't be so bad to upgrade the road. The real only difference, I mean, you're losing a little bit of like buildable space. It would flow a little nicer. But we will hold off on that for now. If we want to connect here, we may have to do a tunnel, honestly. There's just so much going on. Mostly because the traffic on this bridge is really heavy because that's the only point of entry to get across to this neighborhood. And we've got this tourist destination going on, but also all these new residents have to get somewhere. So they're really clogging that up. So that's why I want to build something more. So we'll try this. Will it let us? Sometimes when you build the tunnel, it says, yes, this is fine. This is a fine way to do until you actually go to build the other side of it. So that's why I'm trying to think ahead and how that's going to actually work. Can't do it there because it's just barely bumping into. I really want it to be at that close spot. I mean, ideally, I would have just gone straight and sacrificed a little bit of the building zone there, but I didn't. So we're going to dump that. We're going to take it right. Not in the highway. I wish there's a way to like automatically avoid the highway. But or not automatically connect. Maybe in fact I should take it there. It's not going to be ideal either way to make another intersection that close to the existing one. And we'll go back to this large avenue and just adjust it all the way there. When you build these tunnels, it automatically puts it in the basic street view. So I have it now as the two trees, or the tree-lined two-lane road. But as you can see, the tunnel, it's only going to be concrete. You can't put trees underground, or you could, but you'd have to put in all these grow lights, and just defeats the purpose of, or it's too much extra, and you can't make that happen in this game. Part of my coffee sip there. I like that. That actually came out pretty nicely. Snug in with the highway. It's kind of a steep incline right there. It looks like a roller coaster, but we can't see it from above. So not a problem for me, per se. And if we wanted to make it match up a little more, we could. And then, in fact, why don't we do that? Because I'm sure we will eventually want to fill out that space a little more. So now we've got a little bit more smooth incline, and it just kind of horseshoes around. That actually came out pretty neatly. Give yourself a pat on the back. It'll be like you're giving me a pat on the back, and it'll make me feel good, and you'll feel good, and we want to feel good this morning. On a lovely day where I am, I hope it is where you are. Now, recent updates have given you this zoning. You can choose which side of the road you want to zone. The upside is that it doesn't affect stuff you've already built. And like, you know, how when you build an intersection, it gives you these weird zoning squares. I guess you could see that. Sometimes it does disrupt the zoning on the far side by erasing it, which is not ideal, not really what I want. But you can pick one side or the other, or none at all, or both, and both is the default. And I think we successfully did not disrupt the neighborhood, which was my goal there, why I extended out this, you know, the real solution is the road guides, Justin, thank you. And yeah, it's kind of inconvenient for these sims to have to go all the way around this road and there and back, but it looks kind of neat from above, and we can, you know, extend another road out here. We've got room to grow, and that's important. We'll go ahead and zone these. Even though our demand is low, it'll come back. The big thing we've got to build today is industry. So our commercial will stay. You know, there's some debate about where how the zone demand works. In like Sim City, you would want to completely make the demand bars at their lowest. So as you can see, the residential is the lowest now. City Skylines apparently, allegedly, they haven't really been clear about this, but you want to balance it about halfway where our commercial zone bar is now. And you want to have everything balanced at that halfway point. But you also can get by without doing it. The only time it really messes with your economy is when your entire commercial network is saying there's not enough workers or not enough customers. So we don't necessarily have to build out all this commercial right now, but we will want to go ahead and do the roads, at least to have those laid out. And again, this is really when you get the opportunity to make it look more interesting. And we can make it more of a pedestrian area too. The reason this city is mostly roads is because I didn't have the pedestrian DLC before, so that's why we've got just the one real neighborhood over here that is pedestrian. And that helps you minimize your car and prioritize your transit infrastructure, which we do need a transit subway station somewhere over here. So we've got to keep that in mind. And I also kind of want to keep aware of where we may want another tunnel path, probably off of this road, maybe connecting into this area. We had talked about putting a park in this spot, filling that out, and the tunnels can factor into your park design. by freeing up a little bit of entryway space. And I don't know, do we want this to be more of a pedestrian spot? Probably. At least from here to there, we don't really need, probably don't need more roads than that. So why don't we go ahead, what do you think? Bluestone, sandstone, cobblestone? Got these large ones that are the same size as the avenues. But we're not going to use those now. Let's do sandstone. I think over here we did bluestone. And we don't need every neighborhood to match. Just within, I like to make it match within the specific, areas that we're building. But we could go ahead and, in fact, I will. Upgrade this road that we made because we want that crossing path, but the better option is to have the pedestrian path create the crossing there so it's no car intersection. Yeah, we sacrificed the one, we made that kind of a funky looking angle, but that's okay. Where does our district go? We didn't interrupt this because we didn't want to fool with it. The benefit, though, is, if you can call it that, is that the Korea zone only affects your high density. So our low density, which is basically what everything in this area is unaffected by the zoning change. But as you may or may not know, if you change the district design and pattern, like to the Brooklyn and Queens asset or the Korea, and like if we had a whole high-density residential zone and changed the zoning to the Brooklyn and Queens, it would demolish everything and make it fit these buildings. So you would lose that population, gain more population. That's the only time I really want to do that is if I've just built the neighborhood, so everything's still pretty fresh, like I did here with the sustainable housing. And you can find that episode, previous installments on the Twitch, more recent ones on Twitch. We've been doing this for a year now, with a big break between. So all the new Chirp City series is on the RonlyConly YouTube channel. That's at RonlyConly on YouTube. You can find everything I've ever streamed, with a few exceptions of the most recent ones. I got to do that sometime this week. But anyway, we don't want to destroy everything that we've built so far yet. But I think that's actually a pretty cool little design that we did. Proud of us. Proud of our work. And we'll leave that open space because we got plenty of green space. We don't have to fill every single spot. We always can if we change our minds. It's a little bit crooked, but not too bad. It's actually kind of surprising that we haven't had to reconfigure this railroad. It absolutely could stand to be reconfigured, but that's all right. I'm not mad about it. So you can do the same thing with the pedestrians, roads, streets, with the zoning on side. So we could have one that goes out and only on the one side, but it would affect the side zoned. For now, we'll at least put a walking path. Now I don't want this road here. Rather than make them walk all the way around this. Let's match the curve of the train, or something close enough to it, so it fills out a little more. And then we'll go and give another spot here, just in case they want to go to the street or the bus stops in those. Oh, we do have a metro stop right here, so we could move that. Let's look at the Metro, how's that working? It's a little close to this other station. We could probably stand to move it into the more central part. But we could get away with another station here, one that takes you from this station over without transferring. Probably be good. We've got the space in here. This is a 4-platform station, so we should be able to pick one right beside that red one. And we may want to put one here. This is an easy stop, but we can expand that to at least a double-laned metro station and hook around. Since it's, this multimodal transport station with buses, although our bus line does not go through the bus station. That's interesting, but a problem for another time. But we will go ahead and build another metro station now. We've got these elevated options. I don't really want to do that. It is pretty. It's huge. Pretty huge. Could get away with putting one here that's more central, like really hugging down, so that there's a better, like we could hook a tunnel for the other side there. That might be cute. Can you hear my little kitty? She's at the top of the stairs wondering where I'm at. She gets lonely. Even though I'm right here talking, you would think she would hear me. We don't need the multi-level. I just don't want to put a regular one. See, I wish they would tell you whether it's trains or I guess they do say metro. The railroads of Japan. You could also do that if we want it to be notable. It'll blend in. It's Japanese, but it'll blend with the Korean designs pretty well. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, the other option would be put this here instead, but it's only one station, which is the biggest shame that it's not wider. I don't really want to put a small one. Maybe the metro terminal, but this thing is huge for also just one thing. Now, if we could fit it there, that'd be awesome, but nope, not gonna do it. My other choice was putting it right behind there, but then you got to build the road, and there's really no space. It might look cool. We'll see. If we hate it, we can build a new one. Yeah, okay. So we don't have a lot of those options for ground level, but even this would look fine. We'll see. As of now, we'll build this, and if we need to rebuild it another way, that'll work fine. So we did a perpendicular just in case we wanted to add a third line downtown, and we still may. This is a single, a traditional single platform, so we could get away with putting a second one of those somewhere down closer to our Arc Park, or even divide these neighborhoods down the middle, but I don't think we're in need of that now necessarily. I want to start here so we can choose which platform we're on. It'll automatically move it to which side makes more sense. All right, so we'll hit play on that, and we're working on the idea that this station serves this mall and this tourist area and this neighborhood, and this station serves the train station and the football stadium. Now, what you want to be sure to do is that your sports, your varsity sports, you want them in your university zone so you get the attractiveness improved. As we've done with this, as you can see, you don't have to make it continuous, but it does add some attractiveness there. We're just under the 900, which is crazy, but I don't know if that's factored in the stadium yet, since we haven't hit the play button. Let's see that. Okay, so it has counted it, as far as I can tell. So now we need just a little bit more. So let's look at the trade school. What can we add? I don't know what the capacity is of this university. 4,000, so we've got plenty of capacity there. But we could probably build a new dorm. We don't really have. We only have one dorm. Two, excuse me. Yeah, we could build a new dorm. Don't want to build it there. See, these you can move fine. Why can't you move the varsity? We really want to build it somewhere in the middle of the. I don't want to build it on this main road necessarily, but. Can't quite fit there. I want to destroy all these university-zoned housing. They're just so pretty. If we could fit it there, that would be a nice spot for it. Of course, we'd have to move this. I think it's a police station we got there. And that cafeteria, I don't know if it will move over. It did. It's a bad spot because of the bus stop, but a better spot because of the road being there. The fire trucks can take a turn around the block if they need to go the other direction. I think it's dumb that you have to consider those factors, but I didn't make this. I also think it's insane that it doesn't just automatically connect all these assets together. Like you can't connect right there, so there's no actual path there. But they don't ask me about these things, so that's where they go wrong. Can we build? Can we make a path right here? No, you cannot even connect on the backside. And it doesn't quite get close enough to... Yeah, just not quite close enough for it to actually connect. And the same is true for here, which is incredible in a bad way. But those are the brakes. Look at all these cars coming already. Trash trucks, mostly. But we got a lot of people. You build these stadiums and they like immediately start going to it. So nobody from the train station yet that I can see. But then again, they're all in the stadium already. And on console, you can actually get in and walk around. The game hasn't started yet, so you don't see people in their seats. And we can change the color of the stadium, the school colors. Um, Shoot. Maybe we can play baseball. Oh! So I try to be really careful about where I put the stadiums because they get so many people. So we make them right beside transit options, so that those are the faster ways to get there, so you don't get this backup. This backup here is from the stoplights that I forgot to remove. Don't know why stoplights go at the pedestrian spots too, but here you go. And we can, at least on this part right in front of the stadium, it may be worth putting a 4-lane option there. Right, but we want to build some commercial zones, so let's. And I don't necessarily want everything to be high density commercials, but they are the ones that'll spawn the Korean things. Now, I do want to come here. Sorry, I don't have to do that right now. Back to the building. These are the only ones that make the Korean stuff show. We'll start with the main road there. Plaza. I don't know what kind of park I really want to put there. Maybe the plaza, but it's just so shallow. Look at, we've got a lot of unique buildings we haven't used, so maybe it's one of these. I want something kind of long and skinny. Nope, that's huge. It's far too large. Most of the ones I have are wider. We could build a big office building there. It's kind of unsightly. Blocks our lovely view of the stadium there. They call them skyscrapers. They don't lie, but they just stand out so much from the rest. That would actually be a pretty decent spot for it. But I don't want to miss half of the stadium. That would be a not bad use of space there. If it was just one square smaller, I'd love it. Hmm. I wonder if we can make that connect here. Oh, yes, we can. Perfect. Okay. I like that. Pretty nice. Don't like that empty spot they left, but what are you going to do? One out of one households. Just to give us some of the residential zones from the Korean pack, even though they're not calling for it. But here we are. Some neat little buildings. Make one historic so we have all of it to show. I'm not going to do that with all of them. Oh, we do need the pedestrian area zone, huh? Of course, it's where I was just about to set something down. Just going to go ahead and make it a little bit bigger than we need, just in case we build out more. I don't want to forget. Have to go back and do it. And yet, I probably still will need to. I do kind of want to put the park right under the road there, the railroad, but gotta make the slightest of adjustments. I pause because I don't want to disrupt all my train service there. Don't think I'll be able to, so it's all for naught. Unless we can make this work. So we go boom and no. Not on the ground. Stop it. Stop it. Incredible. Incredible. Incredible stuff. Ah, that's not what I wanted. Drop that down a little. I just wanted to make it a little smooth. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So now, yeah, that's a good, I like that. It's a useful space where you wouldn't be able to build otherwise. I love it. All right. Pretty good stuff we're doing here. I do want to build a path through here at least. Sorry. Wish I could see the squares a little more. That's okay. Who needs them? I like that being open space, but not enough. Uh-oh. We are in trouble with our sewer system. So, first we'll look at our options here. We've got all this. We just bought this empty space here, so that's why it's completely empty. And the line was right there where everything stops. But we've been polluting the water, and as you can see, it's pretty gross. It's even grosser coming right out of these pumps. So we're just going to redo that. Now, we've got room over here in our industrial zone, and we've got a lot more options than we had before because we have grown so much. So we've got the eco water treatment plant, which will still pump into the water, but it'll be cleaner even than that, less polluting. And we've got some inland water treatment plants. And we could also put them over in our oil industry zone. Probably wouldn't be a terrible use of the space over there, but we do have some of our own issues there. As long as you're down, you want to make sure you're downstream of your water intake spots, so don't want to be too close to the houses either. So our options either go further down here, but then we have to run power, or do the inland. How big are those? Not too bad. Do need industry, but we'll be fine. So that's 1,600. That's the same, or 16,000, excuse me. That's the same capacity as the one that spits out. It does add a certain something to your appearance there. You know, it looks like a public water system hub. So that should take us at least to where we're comfortable. And Everything should be good now, right? Yeah, it just takes a moment. Now I'm gonna put it in. God, it's so dark when you come from the other sun angle. Good part about the remaster, you can change the position of the sun. We could go in day and night cycle it, but when you turn the day and night cycle off, it goes to this same sunlight way. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that blank for a little while. I'm gonna take a brief recession so I can get more coffee, among other things, and I'll be right back. Thanks for being here. Boy, those birds in this game are pretty loud, huh? Could hear them in the other room. Thank you for your patience there. We're returning now. This is nice. I actually kind of like the white towers. They're so bright, though. They look like shattered glass, which is interesting. Or cracked glass at the least. Cute little neighborhood. And we can probably put another one right there. I could probably stand to put an office zone there. Maybe that's the solution in this spot. If we get some of these zones there. Make them both historic since they match. And it sandwiches that nicely. It's like it was all one build. Make sure our Queens district comes all the way over. don't know what that just destroyed. Oh, it's because it's a tourism zone. We don't really want it to. Well, we could get away with it being touristy because of the stadium there, I suppose. We'll see what shows up. Once again, I want to thank you for joining me today. I'm Justin, and this is the RonlyConly Twitch stream. That's R only C only. Got it? Good. I'll leave these two there because they give a nice little button there. We don't want it to all be brick, but at least that little curvy part. I must say the tunnel was a pretty smooth move on my part without disrupting the highway service and everything. I think I will, however, upgrade the highway to be a noise reduction spot since we have the neighborhood there now. And the tourist zones. You wouldn't want your tourists to think, my goodness, it's so loud. But the noise reduction does a great job. You can see it in real time. I've shown it before, but I'll show it again. When you build it, see how it's completely white there almost, just from building that. Overhead train line probably adds some degree of noise that we can't really fight, but it being raised up helps because it goes up into the atmosphere more than below. That's my theory, at least. I don't know much about anything. I do know some about some things, and that's why we're here today. Right, and we were going to build another one of these crossovers for pedestrians so they don't have to go all the way down and around to get to the metro. That's why I built that little extension. Seemed awful high. We don't have to go that high. One thing I like to do is start at my destination point and go from there. Can't get across there, so there's not much use. Yeah, we'll go there. We can plant a new tree there so it's not so abrupt. Yeah, okay, started too small. Can't do that. This is the only time it really doesn't help to have it half marked because it has to be a certain height to go over the highway with clearance. I don't know that they'll actually walk around to the back of that. That actually looks terrible. Sorry. Sorry you had to see that. Just a little too soon. That's okay. We don't really have anywhere for them to go. Now, I don't think we really need another car point. We might want one there, or at least to extend the road. Of course, now I've done myself in because of we've got all these things locked in, so we only have so wide of a road. Um, Biggest cause for traffic here, honestly, well, I thought it was the stop sign, but it must be the pedestrians crossing. I don't know why they're all walking. Oh, they're coming out of that subway. Okay. Crossing the street is causing some problems. So let's see what we can do about that. We can go right here, give them a new path of least resistance. That's the way traffic works. That's the way foot traffic works. Your Sims are always trying to get where they're going faster. The path of least resistance, like water. And we can also go right here. Just a little extra walking ways. So hopefully they take that. There's one person already going that way. I only went underground so we can see the people in the platforms. Only a few people taking that shorter metro ride, but that's okay. But it's already helped to some extent. And also you won't have that much foot traffic when there's no ball game going on. This is a pretty full looking district now. Don't have a lot of skyscrapers in here, so that's why we picked a very intentional spot for it. We're having trouble here. What is this? Not enough customers. Okay. Okay, so how many? 93 people there. One thing that'll help is what I was going to do at one other time anyway. You have to be a specific distance away. Just a little walking tunnel, so they've got a way to cut through on both ends, and then of course that's too close, so we'll just come right off of this side. We can't do that. They're just barely touching. That doesn't work. It's not really pretty, but it could be worse. It could be worse. So now we got another way for pedestrians to go instead of taking that whole stretch down and coming around. We probably could get away with putting a in-between spot there. It actually wouldn't look terrible. Maybe we should have done that. We'll keep it as is now. But that is one nice thing, you can go under those roads. This probably doesn't need to be that high. Well, I guess it does. I take it back, but it's so much higher than this road, so that's what makes me wonder now. Let me see if I can take it to half. It does work. Maybe it's because of that. Maybe that's why I hesitated to do that. And this one's also really high, so... Oh, some of that's the topography fooling around with it. Okay. But at least that's smoother, although that's a hell of an incline. Kind of crazy that this would never work in real life, you know. But the tunnels are a good chance for you to, if you hate the way it looks, to make that adjustment. And in fact, I may, just because of how much that's going on. It's almost like stitches. But we've got a lot there. They need customers, but they'll be okay. If they get abandoned, they get abandoned. We'll build some housing, so there's more of the Korean styles, and you can see they're still pretty cool. I just don't think they match. You know, if you're going to give me these super tall buildings, and even with those, they look pretty high density, you would think that you'd be able to match. But what are you going to do? Kind of like that I'm putting the residentials on the pedestrian streets. I didn't do it here because it's so close to the stadium. And your Sims complain about noise, especially if you don't have a lot of health options. We expanded the health options last time, so I'll just review that because I don't remember. But yeah, we put a lot of little clinics and things around, so help with some of that. 82% ain't bad. Could be a lot better though. Child care is pretty good. Elder care is lacking though. We might could put one right there, maybe. A little elder care spot. Just a little bit too wide. I don't want to destroy houses, but it wouldn't hurt that much. Be a decent spot for it though, because all the noise. Hey, but that'll work. They have a huge radius too, so even though that's not the most convenient point, and you know those old people can't walk that far to take the transit, but I don't think we've done any bus lines through here, so that's another place we could stop. Uh-oh, running low on power. Getting a little close there. But we have unlocked more. The nuclear power plant's the best one in terms of output, um, with the exception of the dam, but we're not going to dam up anything. I've never been able to do that successfully. So go somewhere else for that, unfortunately. But we could do another updraft tower. We need 44,000. That's not too bad. We could probably get that pretty quickly, but we'll just put another solar updraft tower. Unfortunately, it's our line there is we just blocked it. But we'll just go ahead and place it down. No use, no sense to worry. We know we're going to be building more, so that's all right. So there for a while, we were getting a lot of traffic to this international cargo station there. It seems to have kind of eased out of the system. You can find, I think it's like part 5 or 6 of New Chirp City. You can find out why I did, you can see me build this and explain why I did the internal cargo line. It's just a straight shot from the industry side of town to where the international station is. I was thinking about building another international station like right in this spot. And please ignore the fact that the oil pumps are running low. I don't really care to dance around and build around like that. But I don't want to put on unlimited resources because then you can't get any trophy achievements. I've only got a handful of like DLC ones still outstanding on this game, but I digress. But it's looking okay. We started this road to connect here and give another way for industry zones. I think that'll help with this interchange. It is pretty funky, but that's one thing I'll address soon. Gotta just barely get that pole out of the way. That'll help. ease some of that problem. So let's do that. Pause it because I don't want to disrupt service. Don't connect. Stop it. Stop it. Thank you. Okay. There's a little trick. You go just past that intersection. The trick to freehanding it is you find the vertex where you want that curve to hit. It's not going to work perfectly because we did alter the path just a little bit. I want to make that a little smoother, but of course it doesn't want me to do that. Beautiful. I like making my trains like as level as possible, especially when they're elevated like this. So that's our cargo line. We're just going to kind of mirror that. I don't know that it's the wisest decision, to tell you the truth. And if we run into trouble, we'll just make it an old town road where you have to have business or live in the area to drive there. Come on. I don't want to intersect. I don't want to intersect. Thank you. It's ever so slight of a curve, too. I don't really like that curve, but it's not the worst. I don't want to disrupt any of that we've already built. Enough room for a few spots, but we probably won't use them. And again, we'll see if this actually causes problems. We can make the policy for this district the old town where they only take the road, and we may have already, in fact. Let's see. Old town is not marked, mostly because we wanted them to take this interchange more than we wanted them to go over here. That helped with traffic over here some. This roundabout has been particularly hairy. Okay, so I did half of it in this two-directional. Interesting. Interesting. The bright side is the highway has so much of a faster speed limit that that's likely not going to be a problem. We'll go ahead now and fix this the way it's supposed to be with the two-lane, and then we can monitor the traffic and see if it makes a big difference. And if it causes problems, since we haven't connected there, we can kind of know that it's probably that direction causing issues, but I don't think we'll have this problem because it's just, I mean, it is a straight shot, but it's not as much in the way. Now, to fix this, we've already had one Band-Aid fix with this lane, so cars didn't have to go zigzag, but we're still getting problems. Some of it's from these handful of pedestrians crossing, but it's all traffic going there, and it's a lot of those trash trucks. So, and also it doesn't help that that's a sharp curve coming around this corner. So a lot of factors at play here. And what I want to do is something I've done before on a different city, and that's to spread out those on and off ramps with one lane roads. It's easier enough here because we've got this road here. Cars are already taking. But this curve is going to cause some issues. I'm thinking about moving this tram depot over to the other side. So then that's less of a problem. Maybe adjusting the disaster response. I mean, this is something that could be closer into the neighborhood, so it's not quite as obtrusive in our way, but also the industry doesn't harm our Sims over here. So, it being my real concern here now is that this being a streetcar and a 4-lane highway or street is going to cause some issues with how I'm planning this out. Are there one-way? There's got to be one-way tram lines, tram streets, right? Yeah, okay, so it's doable. It's doable. Okay, gotta pause it now. All this traffic is gonna freak out, but that's okay. So this is the part where you just kind of have to make a decision. It doesn't have to be a great decision. We're just gonna go whole hog, deleting these streets. The curvature is probably causing some issues as well. I don't really want to make this any smaller of a street, but we can at least err on the side of the fact that this street is probably gonna. If I had been really planning ahead, I would have probably done that differently. Just upgraded the street instead of destroying it all, but it's nice to have a lot of free space here. And you don't want to be this close with your endpoints because it you're just going to run into trouble when you try to make the exit ramps connect. So you got, because it just changes the support beam for some reason. So there we go. We've got one direction. Let's get the highway on-ramp there. And it helps that since it's one way, we know they're going to take that turn. It's not going to be pretty, but it'll just give you a nice curve there. That's a weird way to go down. And I'm half tempted to. Okay, so sorry, I goofed. I goofed. We want this. What's that? Right. Okay. I want the highway. It's probably just gonna be easier to do the same kind of thing here. And now the other side. We'll start off here. Just connect right down there. And we'll upgrade this. I don't know if I want it to be. connect right there because we do have the tram line. Because I think it's nice that they have a way to go down there, but we'll make the choice now, and if it destroys everything, it destroys everything, and we come back and undo or make adjustments. Nothing is permanent, especially when you are in control of all the choices. So it's not really great for that if they're trying to get off of the ramp there. There is definitely a much better way to do this. Curve stuff. Um, these one-way streets. Yeah, okay. The risk here is mainly that the intersection is pretty funky. I was trying to match the curve of the highway, but since our industry demand is so high, it really doesn't hurt my feelings if we have to destroy a whole bunch of it in the name of progress. Mm, could be smoother, and in fact, we will make it so if we can, if it lets me. It's a little better. Still kind of ugly, but it's fine. What we might run into though is the highway interchange. That's not a. That's tricky, tricky stuff. Well, we will move the tram stop, and that'll help us. We can just make that a full-on roundabout, just with a huge gap between. Now we need the highway exit, right? That looks so funny. I try to make it so smooth, and for what? No benefit. Okay, but this should work better now that it's less steep of turns. That we could make an adjustment too. Now that's hideous. That's hideous. Okay, so we won't do that. We'll keep those long ones. I mean, this is ugly. This is a very ugly interchange, but we're mainly concerned about function right now. We want it to be more functional than it was, and I think we'll accomplish that. Function over form in this case, and we can always redo it later. I don't want that to be a stop. We may put a stop sign there, see how that works. Take that stop sign off. Well, let's just leave both stop signs off and see what happens. It takes a little bit for it to adjust the traffic pattern. You know, some of these cars are probably trying to get to this intersection or this exit ramp. So it's not quite foolproof. We'll see. Trial and error. But I've made this work before in a different city. But it may require a separate line to cross over the highway. Where are we jamming up? Oh, they're all trying to go around now. Okay, so thank you for your patience here. Bear with me. Of course not. Okay, we're just gonna move scooch. On the PC, there's a mod called Move It, and I don't have that mod because I'm on PlayStation, but I call it the scooch. Pardon my gastrointestinal problems there. Come on! Oh, there we go. That might cause an issue because it's so close to the intersection, but we'll see. Mainly, we just need the path for the streetcar to remain. Don't want that stoplight there at all. We still need the road here, don't we? So we can either put a one-way there and see how that happens, or if that works, or just leave this as the both directions one. Yeah, let's make it a one-way just so it feels like it makes sense. Other direction. And there's no stoplight there, right? Okay. Now go into my unique buildings here because I want to put down, there's this industry statue. Of course, it's way too big for that. It'd be cool to put in a place like that if we have to keep redoing or making adjustments. Other option is to put it like here into town and head off our new industry area that's going to be right there. We'll place it there for now. Can't get in there without destroying that. I'm not gonna fool with that. Boy, this really worked out for us, huh? It's not great. And that's why you save before you make these major changes. Well, it's starting to flow a little faster. Maybe it was just a truck in the way somewhere. Need to check my tram stops. We're one there, okay. Don't really want one here. That's just going to cause a traffic issue more than it already does. Take that stop sign off. We don't need it. Put a stop sign there so that flows a little better. That stop sign can go off. This is the hardest part. Now, what could be done to make it a little easier is to make this off-ramp come from this side, which probably would be better than it currently is. We can add that. That's the good news. We can just add that right in. Maybe we can do that. And if we can, it'd be really cool if it did it. I know it's ugly. Don't pay no attention to the ugliness. Okay, didn't work. Part of the issue is this curve. I gotta get this angle off of here. Oh, look at that. That's better. It's still crazy looking, but this is a test exit ramp to see if it does enhance the traffic flow. We don't really need this. We're gonna take it off. If we do end up wanting it, we can hit the old scooch on the cargo station, make the ramp go right off the off-ramp. And that'll actually probably be good. Trucks coming out of there that want to go out of town have that option. They don't have to go around the world. And we can do the same thing here, just make it an off and on ramp. Dilute some of that traffic even further. Mostly because we don't have the space here really to do that. Yeah, it's pretty terrible still, traffic flow, but that's all right. We'll move this cargo train, which means we gotta, first I want to pause it so we minimize our service disruptions. And there we go. Bingo. No, that's ugly. Take it back. There we go. That's a lot better. All right. And boom. Okay. There's one. And there's two. Okay. Shouldn't be any stops because we've now changed it. Now that's another way to do it if we don't want to have this off-ramp here. But I think we'll need that. At least for the city. You know, the city folk will need a way to get on and off. And if it weren't for the tram line, I think we could have a lot more lanes. But there's only 2-lane roads with trams. So the obvious solution there would be to make the tram line separate from these. I don't know why they're all in that right lane, but I wish they weren't. It's mostly because they don't like to zig and zag there. That's part of the trouble. Another part of the trouble is that that's such a small pass, and we have pedestrians crossing. That's probably the biggest thing causing problems. And if we could control the crosswalks, that would be great. We can't do that, so only so much we can do. And of course, now that we've boxed ourselves in with this off-ramp, we can't really go over without having to go real high, although I guess we can hug here this line and be okay. So maybe we just have to do that, but then that's going to make this a shorter construction. However, we can connect right here. Should be able to connect right here. Connect right here. There we go. So it's ugly. This is probably this is very challenging to try not to screw up your whole neighborhood, but we are at least diluting. You know, this traffic is more than it was. Yeah, so I guess forget everything that I've told you so far. We're going to pause it again, upgrade these roads to, we'll do a 3-lane one-way. So we've got a dedicated turn lane and all. And we'll do it over here too, just for consistency. Why that didn't work, I don't know. Quirks of the game, quirks of the game. And upgrade. Are you sure about that? Jeez. We don't want a stoplight. We do want this tram line. Now that's a two-way, right? Two-way tram track. Stop connecting to everything, please. Oh, they get on my nerves. Come on. It's because I widened that road, I bet. Okay, so can't do anything the easy way. So instead we'll do it the much more annoying way. That single extra lane is really going to kill us because we moved it. Also, you know what? Bite it. Bite me, bite me, bite me. Now, let's try to just build it this way. Of course not. Of course not. Then it's ugly. It's steep as hell, but they'll be alright. Surely. Okay, no stoplight. Now this side. Okay. Pedestrians take that too for some reason. That seems strange to me, but I guess it counts. Like your proto no car road. I don't know if you can actually zone with the tram lines though. Could be a lot uglier. But it looks like it's working pretty well now. Traffic's flowing. So I guess give yourself a pat on the back for that. It'll be like you're giving me one. I feel like I've earned it. Looks like a big house with a gabled roof. Or a face, little smiley face there. Function over form. Function over form. And I can't believe that's not touching electric zones. We don't really need it, but put it there for safekeeping. I haven't decided if I really want to connect this and there. I don't know that I ever will. May move this down if we move our tram spot, but it all seems okay. But we will now fill in the industry zones better after we caused so much ruckus. I just want them to fill out the zone more. That's the only reason I demolished. Oof, that's a lot of work. Working hard here, but I think we'll wind down this day here because I've got some work to do. If you're just joining, I want to thank you for being here. My name's Justin, and this is the RonlyConly Twitch stream. That's R only C only. Got it? Good. If you want to be the first to know when I'm going live, find me on Instagram at RonlyConly, and there you can learn more about the other stuff that I'm doing, streaming in addition to City Skylines. I'm doing some Red Dead Redemption, some vintage PlayStation 1, some Star Wars Battlefront Classic, and other things. And I'm in the middle of a fundraiser for an animated film that I'm working on. So if you are so inclined to try to support me in any amount you give this week could help us win $1,000 as a grant. So you can find out more information of that on my Instagram at RonlyConly. That's R only C only. Got it? And I can't believe my processing went down that quickly. I guess we built this whole new neighborhood. In fact, this is from the Korea DLC also, this eco-friendly incinerator plant. It does the same processing capacity and everything as the regular incinerator plant with 3 extra trucks, and it's clean for the environment, so not as much pollution involved. And I also built this last time. This is from the Railroads of Japan. Came with this waste disposal unit. I planted it here because I like the look of it, but it does absolutely pollute like crazy. Okay, so we still haven't we've got a garbage truck taking this road. Still haven't connected here though. So we'll do that. We'll connect this and monitor how this works. Double check that. Okay, stoplights here. Don't want them. They'll just cause traffic problems. If you've got a traffic problem and you can't figure out how to solve it, double check that you've got your stoplights turned off. Even your stop signs, your sims don't really need it. Here we've got problems, but that's because all the pedestrians crossing and they're all going to the train station. Despite the fact that I do have a bus stop that goes, well, I guess it only goes in that one direction. We could put a mirrored bus line, and yet we may, at least to go down into this thing. So that'll be, we'll do that next time, and we'll do, because we got to do a bus line around here, and now we've got this whole street, so we could do this whole side of town. And we need a bus line in here and in this new neighborhood, so we've got a lot of bus lines to make. We'll do that next week. I tend to do these on Tuesday. I know today is Wednesday, but Tuesday usually, New Chirp City Day. And I guess we'll like really go hard on doing some industry zoning next week. I've taken up a lot of zone here with these trash facilities. Probably scale back, One, I call them wave plants, wave incinerator plants, because they look like, I don't know, the ocean to me. But one of those takes up 2 of the recycling centers, so that's an easy way to improve your production rate and reduce your trash footprint. I don't know that this will really fit anywhere with these, but we could build another one here, and then boom, 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 boom. New industry zones. Yay, new industry zones. Fill that out. So now we've done even more with our capacity, or broken even with our capacity, but we're taking up less space in theory. And, of course, we've got the whole rest of the city. We can add more trash wherever. The trash problem never goes away. In fact, I read a fascinating article on how they do, they're handling trash in New York City. If you've ever been there, you see a lot of trash on the streets, so they're trying to solve that, help out, get rid of the rats. So it's a whole, crime-fighting operation, basically. I wonder how many of these cars are coming, going out of town from our town, They're driving home, but they're going to the train station. But anyway, it's kind of congested because it's only a single lane. We can change that, I suppose. Might as well do that now. And we'll put the oak trees on it again, because I like it. I like these oak trees especially because they make it look a little bit more established of a neighborhood. Although I don't like when they push through the rail, but can't do much about that. Put some office there. Help with our need for industry zone, without it being all polluting industries. And this is our big school. Holds 1,500. Put that down last time, I think. And we'll come down here and give a connection there. And yeah, everything seems to be okay. Traffic-wise, changing this to 2 directions doesn't seem to have hurt anything. There's definitely more traffic on this road, though. I think they are all going to the train stations. So this is our only international train station. Future, once we get out this way, we'll build an international train station here. Maybe we'll go ahead and expand right behind our multimodal station, so then they don't have to come all the way over here and then take all these trains. That would make sense. Yeah, next time we'll definitely do more industry in this zone here, this area, and we'll play with that, the bus lines, we'll definitely need them after we do that. This new neighborhood looks pretty good. Don't need residents at all, apparently, because we zoned for quite a bit there, and they're still not there, which is crazy. But I guess we are only now starting to plateau, because as your buildings level up, you get more population. But our jobs have definitely stagnated. So we've got the exact almost amount of workers we need. I think it came out pretty nicely. Probably stand to put a park in the middle here where we had the residential zone. Or at least a unique building or two. Department store's huge, but fills in that gap very cleanly. I like the green space. So we'll put a pin in that and save it for next time. I'll think on it. Next week, we'll do it. Be sure to hit that follow button if you're on Twitch, and follow me on Instagram, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. On YouTube, I've got the whole new Chirp City series, with the exception of the most recent ones, but that'll be fixed by the weekend, and you'll be the first to know when I'm going live. It happens pretty sporadically, as you can tell, but I'm glad you're here with me today. Thank you for watching. You find me everywhere at RonlyConly. That's R only, C only. Got it? Good. And also you can find my website, RonlyConly.com, where I've got some articles I've written about music and theater and TV shows and soon pro wrestling, as well as some more information about my work. And please do, if you can, help me out with the fundraiser I'm working on for an animated short film I'm doing called Buttercup's Lament. It's about two cats and the early days of the pandemic lockdown through the point of view of said cats. And it's really beautiful artwork we're doing, but we just need any amount that you give this week will help us win a $1,000 grant from our fiscal sponsor. And if you want more information on that, you can find it all on my Instagram page at RonlyConly. And you can find the Buttercup's Lament page also. But that'll do it for this week. I'm Justin. Thank you again for being here. And we'll see you next time.